controversial letter signed by Samuel Anyanwu. From your perspective, who should be called the National Publicity Secretary for the PDP?
National Secretary.
National Secretary. I beg your pardon.
Yeah, as it is now, according to the consensus opinion of the leaders of the party, the secretary remains the deputy national secretary of the party because of the crisis we have right now. You will agree with me that even the Supreme Court that gave judgment left a kind of a lacuna which more or less confused the situation the more. And the lacuna was that if I appeal against the previous judgment, that he should be removed as the secretary of the party. And the Supreme Court now issued a statement or give a judgment that it is the party's right to choose who will be the secretary. And the party, in their wisdom, decided to put aside Anyanwu and Okoye and decided to use the deputy national secretary. I think it's a wise decision and it's something that should not be queried or should remain. So in my own opinion, I think just to balance the equation and to sort out the issue, the deputy national secretary remains the secretary of the party.
Mr. The NEC meeting that was scheduled to hold today, I'm not sure it's going to hold. Yesterday, they had the stakeholders meeting, the BOT, the NWC, the Governors Forum, all met. And from indications, it seemed as if the letter written by Anyanwu has prevailed because he said the NEC has been postponed indefinitely. So, what is the true position of things? He wrote a letter that the NEC has been postponed, and I'm not sure that the NEC meeting will hold today.
What I know is that all our stakeholders and the respected leaders are in Abuja. So we are still waiting to see what will be the outcome of their, gathering. There were a series of meetings held yesterday among the governors, the BOT, the NWC. So we will wait till, in the afternoon to see if they are going to have the meeting or not.
Let's come to you here in the studio, Mr. Austin. I'll still dwell on this issue of the PDP National Secretary. Is this really a misunderstanding of the Supreme Court judgment, or this is just party leaders not refusing to do the right thing?
The Supreme Court caused more problem. It's like you approach an elders in the family, among the three children fighting, who is the senior. And instead of the father to say, you, Mr. Bola, you are the first son, or you are the senior, he said people should go and ask yourself who is supposed to be the senior. So there has been a crisis within the party, which they approach the court of competent jurisdiction. This is not the lower court. We are talking of the apex, the Supreme Court, whose pronouncement becomes law. Instead of the courts to do the right thing, they did the same thing in the Labour Party. Is the crisis not going on in the Labour Party today?
So the Supreme Court...
Then the Supreme Court failed to... The internal mechanism of the party has failed itself, and they approached the Supreme Court to interpret what's supposed to be, and they refer them back to. So the Supreme Court created this problem. They created this problem. Ideally, just as the former Deputy Public Secretary said, the party organs, which include the National Working Committee, the Governors Forum, which is the very powerful organs of the party, has agreed that since the Southeast is causing problem where the people to do Okoye and Sam Anyanwu came from, let the two people go aside, and they nominated the deputy to oversee the activities of the secretary of the party for now. And Anyanwu said he's refusing. Why? Udo Okoye said he's refusing. And then last week, the Southeast nominated Udo Okoye. I don't know if you get it now. So above all, I can say, since the party is failing itself to resolve the problem, the Supreme Court has also failed the party. I am suggesting that there is an infiltration. I am suggesting that the party should look inward and ensure today's next meeting, because the letter from Anyanwu will still not be recognized. Look at that letter, it's treated as a factional letter. As not the authentic secretary of the party, recognized by the various organs of the party, his letter cannot nullify the next meeting. The caucus meeting continued by 10 o'clock, and which may lead to the next meeting. And thank God for the president. I must appreciate the president and commander-in-chief who intervened over the sealing of the party secretariat yesterday by ordering that the whole issue, this is democracy. And I must commend the president for that. So I don't see anything stopping the next meeting today's next meeting, because the Supreme Court said the issue of the national secretary is internal affair of the party. And internally they have taken the decision by asking someone and to take a step.
Mr. Usman rightly said the Supreme Court has spoken. And Supreme Court, I think, only tried to make sure that party understands party supremacy and learn how to effect their own roles. So the Supreme Court said it is within the powers of the party to decide. So how has the Supreme Court failed in that? If the party has no internal democracy, you don't blame your failure, your inability to exert and effect.
That's why we have a court of competent jurisdiction. That's why we have a court. If you are aggrieved, you approach the court. And someone is aggrieved by the decisions taken by the internal mechanism of the party, and he has approached the court, and the court has refused to take decision. And I say this thing is also causing problem in Labour Party between Abu-led factions and the Naji Usman faction. You are seeing what is happening. So the pronouncement by the Supreme Court or from the Supreme Court would have solved this problem. Either you like it or not, you have to comply with the ruling of the Supreme Court, which is the Supreme. By failing to take decision on that, they created more problem for the party. That is what I'm saying. And that is simple. Assuming the Supreme Court bold enough to say that Samanyang, you are the National Secretary. Udo Okoye, being nominated, you are the National Secretary. By now, Samanyang would have found it way, either through internal reconciliation, or you can go to another party, or you accept you can't say you will not accept the decision of the Supreme Court. Where are you going to? Is it ECOWAS Court?
All right, Mr. Odeyemi. Mr. Odeyemi, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. The PDP leaders seem desperate to keep the party together, but are they focusing on the real issues, or they are just obsessed with blaming Wiki for what is happening?
Anyway, wherever you see human beings contesting for power, there are about to be friction. What is happening in PDP is not more than all these stakeholders trying to have a hold of the heart of the party. And that is why the issue of the secretary has been very germane, in this crisis. You will recall that Wiki recently accused Makinde of trying to change the agreement they had somewhere. Of
Okay.
All right, Mr. Osinoka, if you can just give us an insight into the question I asked. Do you think the party leaders are actually addressing the real issue confronting the party, or they are just or concentrating or shifting blames?
Yes, it's not okay, look at it now. The Wiki now accusing Makinde, which is one of his close allies, which they fought article together. G5 that worked for the election of President Tinubu, even while they were in PDP. I don't know if you get it now. So what exactly is this agreement that they are not maintaining with Wiki? From the time of Sekudos, Atiku Abubakar, Tamboa, all of them, everybody is betraying Wiki. What is this agreement between Wiki and the leadership of the PDP? I think it's time Nigerians should know. I don't know if you get it now. This agreement with Makinde, is Makinde speaking for PDP? In what capacity? Is he the acting national chairman that can reach agreement with Wiki on behalf of PDP, or the chairman of the Governors Forum? I don't know if you get it now. This is time Nigerians should ask the Minister of FCT and his allies and the leadership of PDP to be transparent. This is democracy. Let them open up to us. Not to say there is a betrayal, there is an agreement, they don't keep the agreement. What is this agreement that they are not keeping?
All right, I hear that we have